Fall into your abyss. Now we get to talk about the real thing. None of this Mercury and Libra shifting around and costume of lies and candying up words where the truth isn't really said. Now we get to speak truth. Discover and seek the secret inside you. The secret inside you, chat. I'm seeing inside every single one of you. Shelley and Angela, Johnny Newton, and Wesley Big Bass. You like my 007 intro? SG representing along with JC, my hard-shelled critter, Scorpio risings, Alex D. I'm in a mood. The mood I'm in, I will be in till November 21st or 22nd because this is one of my favorite times of the year. The Scorpionic times. Just so happens we have an eclipse in this realm of Taurus Scorpio on Saturday. We got Mercury there. The sun entered Scorpio today. Run far. Run while you can. There are those of you, though, who don't run. You actually walk towards. I would fall into that category. As a matter of fact, you Scorpios, Scorpio rising, Scorpio moons, you got Mars and Scorpio. I summon you. You are actually walking towards me. And I know you don't just walk towards anything or anybody. You're picky and choosy for good reason. You're living that life, that hard shell protecting that deep, actually intense part of you, that sensitivity that people don't seem to know about until they're alone with you in the dark. And you usually helping people out like with that kind of stuff. You can't help it. Your presence brings that out in situations and people and environments. But this month and this stream, I'm going to bring it out in you. Because I am not afraid of it. As a matter of fact, I revel in those places. Like many of you do, Scorpionic friends. But some of you are scared of that place within yourself. Admit it. I see it. But you're safe here. Reveal yourselves. Susan, Chad, Shelly, and Nadia. Jackie. Jackie calls the underworld groovy. Hoffman. It's been personally intense, especially today. I'm sure it has been. There was a shift that happened since Saturday. As soon as Mercury went into Scorpio. Sun square Pluto. We had some beautiful Jupiter trine Venus. As soon as that Mercury went in, and as soon as it kicked in today with the sun, you just felt the door close. Like you just left some place that was like a little open, a little area, a little mischievous, somewhat. Actually, if you watch my truth video, you know I was calling some stuff out that was illusionary the last 2 weeks. I still think it is. Luckily, we have Mercury and Scorpio to just get to the point and get past that stuff. And we get intimate here now in that story. No, this isn't a space video game. This is a live stream. This is a live stream. And that's a chart. And that's me. In a mood. I have a lot of things to do. I was just like, well, do I do this? I go on air. I don't care. But you know what? The way I have it set up in this room for however long I'm in this room is like I can just press 2 buttons and I could do this at any time. And I like the spontaneity and surprise because that's in me. But there's something else, you know. I woke up this morning and I was in that place. Where there was nothing else except my heart beating, and it was dark. Dark. And I got scared for a second. I actually got scared, and I was like, wait a second. Wait a second here. I love this place. I love this place. So, you know, I was like, I had some work today and some whatever stuff. And I'm like, fuck it, man. Let's go live. Let's go live. Let's open the door to Scorpio season. Let's go live. Let's talk whatever. Total free fall. I'm going to free falling, actually. I am free falling. I'm going to free fall off the top of my head into this stream, not knowing, with no plan or whatever. And I'm going to just go and do and get and instinctually whatever. But it's not some like go, get, do instinctually like Aries type of thing. There's actually some thought and depth to all this. Not saying you all Aries don't have thought and depth, but I think you feel what I'm saying. Like there's a mission that I'm on. There's a mission, a scorpionic mission. A story. Seeking out pieces of the story, the plot. Putting it together to lead to something. To lead to something where is it leading to the place and the answer to why I'm obsessing and craving things? And I had the window open up this morning in the dark as to me personally. What I said, oh, I'm going after that. Secretly. Quietly. In my little world. My little magnifying glass. I see that something. It's calling towards me. And I want to know every single thing about it. all the nooks and crannies, the sparkly part, the dark parts, every single thing about it, I will know and have and consume. There is no other way, no other thoughts. And I am alone in the dark with my secret. It fills my veins with a rush and a power. I feel the hint of the truth. Adios, Johnny. I have that taste. I have that taste of truth. And I want it all. Who dares walk this path? Only those with courage, armor, all or nothing, 100% to the abyss. Welcome, Scorpio birthdays. Happy birthday to you, Scorpios. What's up, Scorpio risings, freaks? I see right through that steely facade. It's hot, actually. I see you. I know you're looking at me. You've been looking at me, haven't you? I felt it around, like I'm walking down the street. Like somebody hiding in the bushes over there staring at me. Who's scoping my profile, IG profile? What? I feel them lurking around. I can go look at the likes or whoever looked at my IG stories or who comment or who's even in the chat right now. But I'm like, there's the other thing. Like, they're there. I know they're there. I know you're watching me. Good to see you. You know I ain't afraid of you. We've been here before. And in the end, like I said in the beginning of this live stream, Scorpionic energy people, that you walk towards me. You won't admit it out loud, but you do. And I love it. I see y'all in the chat. I see some super chats. Let me get out of my the way I did this stream. I started the stream and interact with the demons in the darkness of chat. Let's see here. Kelly K. Kelly K. Love the lives in your videos, period. That's what she said here in the super chat. Kelly K, thank you for the donation. It's going to go towards some fake blood for Halloween. I think I'm going to get I need a tube of fake blood. Thank you for your contribution. And I think I can get more than the tube of fake blood. I'll get a falafel too. Actually, maybe I'll put the fake blood on and be in my mode, and I'll just bite into that falafel. Oh, God, glorious. Thank you, Kelly K. Angela MJC. I know John was saying good night, John. Shelley. Cabe, you taste... Cabe, I taste it too. You see what happens? What you can do with the internet and live streams? You could touch into people's senses and they're actually feeling it and tasting it. I'm tasting it too, Cabe. Adrian P. Hearts on fire. Hello, Ray. Sunbeam Network. It's the first time I've ever caught a sunbeam in the underworld, but here we are. It's a rare moment. It kind of doesn't look like a sunbeam. It kind of is coming in as a different shade of like let's just picture like if you ever seen a purple black light. That's the sunbeam in this case tonight. And Kelly K, thank you for rocking it, by the way, and people liking it. Kali, hey. Good to see you all. It's a little free-for-all today. If you got a particular thing, be good to me here, okay? Be good to me. I'll answer something in chat astrologically based. I'm not going to do some random asteroid out of the 40 asteroids that are out there, but whatever. I'm going to talk about a couple transits this week and sort of talk about the eclipse Sunday, but I'm going to work on a video for that, so I can't tell you everything. I can't tell you all my secrets. But, well, since we're alone, you and I, one-on-one, I'll slowly tell you my secrets. But you can ask me questions in chat. And I will do my best. Hi, Annie. I see you floating over. Today is Monday, October 23rd, at least where I am on the Pacific Coast. Sun went into Scorpio at 9:20 a.m. Pacific this morning. And the moon is still in the mad scientist realm of Aquarius. Squared Uranus, sextile the node not too long ago. We're on our way to midnight tonight, just after Pacific time, where the sun is going to trine Saturn. Sun in Scorpio kind of starts off its transit with a Mercury ingress in Scorpio, and then with a trine to Saturn. Hey, that is a pretty good way to start things. And for Scorpio land, it's all candy in Scorpio land, right? I've been seeing you all portraying that lately, like the tides have shifted for y'all. They have. Journey's not over. I'll be real with you. There's some stuff lingering. It will for a little bit. I actually have till spring in my mind. But you made some moves here in the last 2 years, slowly, but recently this year, you might have shed a weight. The sun trining Saturn in Pisces, it's not a weight. It's a foundation. And in an interesting way, a little bit of a foundation for you for the next 30 days. It's a good way to start. So that's going to happen. Let me get grounded here, okay? That's going to happen 12:13 a.m. October 24th, Pacific time. And an hour later, just so happens that the moon goes into Pisces. I see somebody in chat talking about salted black licorice. I wish I had that, but I do have some licorice. No waiting till spring. I have a reason why I'm saying that. If you know your astrology, and you don't, it's not a effing test. Something's happening in spring and fixed signs, and a particular sign that's opposite Scorpio. So this will affect them. So hell, why don't we do something here? Because I just need to do this because sometimes I like it and other people like it, I guess. And we will annotate. And we will hit this, and let's see what I got. No, hey, well, that's going on the whole time while we're here, by the way, is that. But what I was really getting to is this. So And I could just bring this over the chart. I mean, I could just sit there. I go, this is the chart for next month. This is the chart for the next 30 days. I'm going to point you. You could see how this black liquid smoke or gel here is just made a conjunction with the other black liquid smoke, and how you see how it's engulfing the rest of the red area of sensuality and sexiness, and riding the edge of death and rebirth, basically an orgasm. So we basically have a living orgasm in front of us right now, and we're doing this together. So that's the chart you could see right now. Maybe I should annotate this. You could see right here that there is part one half of the orgasm, but now we can't even differentiate which parts there is, because it's actually becoming one. Something the Scorpios, along with water signs in general, like to get to. Like, let's just pretend and I'm in my Scorpionic mode, which I am, and I'm talking to you. This isn't really pretend, actually. I'm really in that place, and I'm looking at you, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything to you, but I'm going to look at you. I choose you. You are mine. So that kind of thing here on the screen, this all or nothing going into each other, to in this darkness, to go through dark and light and to drink it down. This is the chart for right now. And hey, Yasmina, what's up? This is the chart. Let's just get to it. Hey, 0 degrees. 2 degrees Scorpio. Mars in Scorpio. Just happens to be in this chart that right now where I'm at, Scorpio's on a descendant, which this is sort of the mirror of my chart in the weirdest of ways. So I have to do something in the background here I'm not going to see, just to make sure. And then so that's what's going on. Let's just point this out. Scorpio land right here. Sun, Mercury, Mars. We're going to point out here that Jupiter's still retrograde in Taurus. There is Uranus in Taurus. So you already know that Mars is on its way to an opposition here, because we have 8 degrees. Mercury's going to do the same to Jupiter. And we know, too, that eventually anything Scorpionic here in the next so many weeks and stuff is going to be opposite Uranus. Not the most calming thing. It's pretty intense, actually. A Mars-Jupiter opposition is... That's not... I'm not going to say hot air, but more of like... There's a lot of pleasure to be found there in the weirdest of ways, actually. But in the Scorpio-Taurus parts of your chart, we do have a set-off here that goes big. And if depending on where you're at with the Scorpio Taurus parts of your chart, and I'm going to stop here when I say that, because today, earlier on my IG and on my stories, I'm going to send a newsletter out this week. I purposely put a special reading on my website for the Scorpio rising, Scorpio moons, Mars and Scorpio people. They're the only ones who get a discounted reading and deal. And the reason why I'm doing this is because for the last 10 years, I've done this. Even on my Facebook pages back in the day, I was always going, Scorpios, talk to me, because I like talking to you and you can't talk to me and we could get to the nitty gritty of things. But in this particular case, I threw up the reading this week because the last 2 years of Scorpio Taurus eclipses obviously hit those two signs. And this month is a microcosm in one way of the last 2 years. All of the things that have happened, whether you want to say good or bad of the adventure, will come up and have been brought up, and you'll see where you stand with things. If you feel like you've changed or evolved, or you're still in the same situations, whatever the case is, I ain't judging. These transits of, let's say, the Sun, Mercury, Mars, opposite the Taurus planets, they're going to go past those points along the way. So I see a particular Scorpio in chat, and he just arrived here. I'm assuming it's a he. So let's give him a bit of the ritual, because I think this person needs this. And we'll go back to this. I think they need this. I see you. You say it's the best season. I agree with you, it is. Well, next to something that happens in June, but I see the one in June is the best season. But anyway, the second best season, this goes out to you. May you find your new obsession, whatever it is. May you follow your obsession. And once you hit the deepest point, I want you to completely surrender and fall into that abyss. You could maybe say that abyss is actually November 17th. That's when Mars and Sun have their conjunction. You could say that. You could do that. So that was for you. And that was for the other Scorpios out there who are peering over the abyss. Go all in, will you? Show us how it's done. So, so here's today. You see what I'm saying? I'm bringing up these Scorpio Taurus stuff, and basically this month, the communication that's involved, Mercury, the type of research that we're doing from the private investigator realm. You could put your overcoat on and a hat and those sunglasses that you all like to wear in the inside places and outside places. While no one could see those orbs of yours, your eyes of yours, like these scorpionic people, Scorpio rising, they got these eyes, the penetrative eyes. Very Scorpio, like it's sort of like they gotta wear the sunglasses because actually I'm sure their eyes and their stare and glare get them into situations, and then they realize they can't show that because they also realize that while they're staring into other people and they have the gift of it, it actually means their eyes are open and people could stare into them. So you wear sunglasses because you could still stare into other people, but they can't stare into you. So saying that's today. Happy birthday to the Scorpios. Again, we got here on the chart here, just to say, like I was talking earlier, you see Saturn at 0 degrees here, and we have a waxing trine that's happening here. We dig this. We like this. And we get to speak a secret language between Pisces and Scorpio. A lot of times it doesn't have anything to do with words, most of the time. But it does in this case because of this past weekend. And you could see that Mercury at 2 degrees, Scorpio, they've hooked up here this weekend, and it's still around. And I think the type of thought processes that happen internally and the connection to emotions and how emotional processes and how complex they can be in water signs and swimming through that, once Saturn and Mercury get together, they can construct the message to themselves or to the outside world and put words to the feelings and the process. And very creative here and deep, actually. And we're digging this. And so the sun and Saturn here get together to reinforce all this. So so anyway, we're gonna take a look at that. Again, I'm doing this little stream on the fly. We can go to, I'm sort of already getting it tomorrow, and I'll just skip for 24 hours here on the chart. You'll see here, you can see here at this point here, earlier in the morning, like I talked about, that we have another reinforced water situation here earlier in the day, that Pisces moon's coming through to make a conjunction with Saturn and make those trines with the Sun and Mercury and Mars. Very incredible scorpionic opening 24 to 48 hours for the Scorpion birthday. It's like you couldn't ask for something better in one way, to have a Pisces moon come in and make a trine and also sextile to Jupiter and Taurus and to Uranus and Taurus. So it's like, hey, this is cool. Dig it. We got an opposition with Venus here in Virgo, but all this other stuff kind of just balances that out, I think. And so we dig this. And I'm going to say, if you are affected by these transits, obviously, you know, I'm doing this stream for the Scorpio rising, Scorpio moon, Mars, Scorpio people. You goth weirdos. So, you know, that kind of thing here, we like this, and we take this because of some of the other things that are going to happen here, and especially when we get to Saturday, when we do have an eclipse happen at 5 degrees Taurus. So so like the whole day goes through. We got the moon conjunct Saturn, moon trine Sun, moon trine Mercury, moon trine Mars, moon sextile Jupiter by the end of Tuesday night Pacific time. In the middle of the night, when we get into the 25th on the Wednesday, we'll just go an extra day. I'm not going to go precise times on you all, but you could see the other thing that happens here that I dig. Well, we do have the opposition to happen, but then we kind of like Pisces moon does this final something. Right? It does this final thing it does every month. It's for years now, is a moon Neptune conjunction in Pisces to cap the least Pisces moon version of this off for the 2.5 days or whatever, like major aspect here to continue the story. It seems like a novel here that's happened in a day and a half here transit 2 months, but it's wild. It's super cool. And if you're really affected by these transits, you're really feeling it with this Pisces moon. And I encourage the vessels that you use for creativity and for expression to be used here. Some people just might smoke a big fat blunt and use the creative vessels or pour themselves some top shelf whiskey along this thing, and that could kind of give you that coasting feeling. Other people are going to use whatever case and vessel to transcend places, transcend themselves, or really by transcending, we go and find ourselves within, and we become one, this all-encompassing one place. And that's one way I like to look at water moving and relating here, and just in general with the moon and Neptune. Just disclaimer, as long as it's healthy, okay? You know what I mean? Healthy obsession. 7:22 p.m. on Wednesday Pacific time, moon exact conjunct Neptune. It ends at 11:39 Pacific with a moon sextiling Pluto. Good stuff here. We need this good stuff because once we leave and we get into Thursday in the middle of the night, we have, let's bump it up. You're already going to see it moved here, but moon in Aries. Now it changes as it always does. That transition between moon in Pisces and moon in Aries is always stark. It's always just alive in a weird sense, this kind of influx of fire and aliveness. Having to be awake all of a sudden. Raw instinct. 3:01 a.m. moon goes into Aries. Funny thing is, it's funny on this calendar that I'm looking at that there's no other aspects that day. It's weird, but there is. When we get to the 27th, we get to the moon Chiron conjunction, and something here interesting too to point out when we go the next day, is this. You know, moon in Aries conjunct the node. And here now we have a situation on the other side of the Libra South node where we're touching upon eclipse points from last week and even getting into the realm of the 29-degree eclipse that happened at the end of April at 29 degrees Aries. It's in the story here with the Scorpionic story because we're in the middle of eclipse season and we're in the middle of a nodal eclipse season that's two different sign shifts, if that's the way to say it. So it's interesting that we have all this scorpionic stuff that happens with Pisces moon and stuff when we get into moon Chiron, moon node, and we have the overlap going on here with some of the eclipse things. And I'll get to the chart here in a sec, or the chat here in a second. I just looked at the chat, and I only saw one word, and it was tequila. So that tells me what's going on in chat. So when we get to that Saturday, but when we get to the 28th, I wasn't going to do this because honestly, I have more I have to say about the eclipse on Saturday, and I need to make a video on this and have it published by hopefully Thursday. But we'll do it, and I'll actually just pull up the eclipse chart just to do it really quick. And I think, on the astrology podcast, we talked about some of this stuff and whatever there too. And so, but you can always go back to it because emotionally, ever since the last several weeks, we look at transits as astrologers. We try to understand them, and then we have our past history of when it happened before, and we have that understanding. But then when you're in the moment or waxing towards, it starts to switch a little bit, not switch, but define itself a little bit more, I think. And then even after it's done, there's other things that are revealed, and that's the beauty of all this. There's never ending of what you can learn of the examples you take from politics in the mundane world or with the clients or within your own world, right? So we never want to get locked in fully exactly to what it is. We could talk about the basics, and the basics are true, but how and what way or what story? How did it go this time, right? So let's bust a move, and we'll go to, you'll see just what I'm doing, and we'll go to the 28th here, and we'll calculate this mofo. And here it is. That's what happens here. 1:24 p.m. we have this eclipse happen, and it's a 5-degree full moon in Taurus. That goes on right here, 5 degrees. You see the sun's there. You see Mercury's there. Mercury, you notice something here? I think you're noticing it. You see Mercury and Mars in a waxing conjunction. And that could be some biting ass words right there. That's coming away this week. It's building here. So without looking at the rest of the chart, we're looking at this and we're going like, shit. This is some. Now, do you really want to talk to the Scorpio in your life? Do you really want to hear what they have to say? Because something's about to be said here this week, and it ain't no Mercury and Libra stuff. You know what I mean? It's the real deal. Try to be nice. Hopefully it's not blazing from some suppressed, resentful anger. The scorpionic stuff can happen. The energy, if it's not outputted or they weren't heard or they're holding it for whatever reason, it can come out nasty. Okay, so there's that. And we know on the opposite end, Jupiter is inflating this possibly. Listen, I'm not going to say it's all nasty, all right? I am going to say that it's intense, okay? It's intense. We got fixed communication happening here, fixed energy, and stuff that's bubbling up from the surface and coming up to the truth with Mercury and Mars, and it could be brutally cutting and honest here with what comes up in conversations if you're affected by this. And Jupiter can inflate this. It can really feed this I was going to say fire, but it's like this underworld cave tidal wave. So you have that. And, let's remember it's a Mars-Venus story again. We're looking to see where Venus is in Virgo. We know where Mars is. Sort of a water earth sextile here. My orbs are different on this program. So you have a little something with the Mars-Venus as a way of earth and water being able to flow with water lapping against earth. You just want to set that structure up. But Jupiter here and the moon and Taurus, this sets it off. I will say, from a more Venus-y perspective and just sensual or sense perspective, this could be effing hot and overindulgent, honestly, too. Like, you could just drink some serious stuff down and whatever. If you have a good time doing it, just know how you're going to feel the next day. But in general, that's my quick take on this. I'm not going to go too much on this here because there's other things here in this chart that I see, and I have to make what I'm basically saying is I need to not tell you everything because it forces me to be on the deadline to make another video. That's what's going on. Final word. We know this is the last eclipse in the Scorpio Taurus cycle for the last couple years. I'm not going to say it's the end of something or whatever. I don't believe that to be true because my experiences here with this the last several years, I just think that things shift in another way. And I, in particular, when I brought up what was going to happen next spring with the Jupiter in Uranus conjunction in Taurus, I think it can hit certain places in this dynamic. That end of the second decan and beginning of the third decan, that area, it's continuation of this from me. Not all the Scorps and Tauruses, but there's something. The cool thing to remember is that we're afraid times for change and what we do to hang on to situations. And because you don't know, as a human being, you don't know what's going to happen. And the potential loss of a story, of a habit, of a love, of an interest, of a habitual thing that you carried that has carried you through things to help you, a loss like that, it's natural to hold on. And I think when the Scorpio archetype is on point, they show us the way through to let go and go through, and that there's only one way, and it's to go all in and all the way with everything that you have passionately. And knowing that true power lies on the other side and within that process. And that requires a focused intimacy. There's no 30% heart involved. It's 100% heart. And that's risky. Ultimate risk. Scorpio shows us the way to run with that risk and actually get off on that risk. Because you don't know the exact outcome, but you know that you can't help but do it. You have to do it to evolve. And once people know that process, wherever it is in our life, where Scorpio shows us that, we're never the same again, and we're never going back. And depending on who it is, the shedding of your skin process and what that is, it's hardcore, the ultimate. It's death in one sense, right? Death and rebirth, but really has to do with regeneration. And so we have to honor Scorpionic energy and honor that because of that's what is shown to us. I'm not giving Scorpios a complete break here, or Scorpio risings, because they have their own battles and obsessions and power and manipulation games, and that's why I put up, that's not the full reason why I put up that special reading today on my site for Scorpio rising moon and Mars and Scorpios only, because I'm not saying you're being manipulative, but some of you probably are. I don't know how you're standing in your Scorpionic power. I know a lot of you have done the work, though, because of the transits has gone on with Uranus and Taurus and eclipses, and even that Venus retrograde touched you. But there's other things here in the last couple years. So, I think you've done a lot of the work. But if there's lingering things, if there's certain things that you see, and it's like, the hardest of confrontations within yourself, you got to go there, and you got to get through that. And so this month is a little journey with that. And I think when we get towards the 17th of November, when we have that Mars and Sun conjunction that happens, you can use that as a symbol and ritualistically as the change. And in a sense, these eclipses ending here in the Taurus Scorpio parts of the chart, there is a shift and a switch up. But when we get to the end of the birthday season there, that Mars Sun that's the place to really let go of the last parts of that scaly shell ears. Let's look at chat, since I'm going off the top of my head. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about in here. I wear sunglasses all the time. It's songs in my head. I wear sunglasses at night. Eric Headblum, if you're still in here, good to see you. Earth Stara, Sandra L, Canada Dry, what's up? Good to see you, Canada Dry. Yeah, see, Christina S. called out the song and went into her. Christina S. is dating herself, probably, but that's Corey Hart wrote that song. I wear my sunglasses at night. That's not really representative of Scorpio vibe, though. It's just the beginning. I think there's other music and stuff out there that's much more representative of the fucking deep red, purple drip bomb. I'm looking at chat here. Love the podcast. That's cool. James Sanders. What's up, homie? Good to see you. Steffi G. C99. Stella Moore. Scorpio Rising Stellium. Woo! You're on point. Happy birthday to you. Sharp, edgy words. Yep. Give the salesman some tequila. SG. I knew there was a reason I was not going to people much lately. So far, I've been breathing before responding. Good advice, by the way. That's a good thing about water, too. If you got a lot of water in your chart next couple of days with the Pisces moon, there's not this reactive thing. You have to swim in emotional places, and the vibe between Saturn and the Scorpio stuff is really good. Have some sort of stability and container to deal with the water. You don't have to say things off the bat or get caught up. The pondering, the deep pondering and processing emotionally and how it can go into words. One thing is for sure, if you have a Mercury and Scorpio kind of vibe around you, you can ponder for 2 years and the golden moment will come up for the one sentence to sum it all up. And it's better than 3 novels one can write on a subject, the one sentence that a Mercury and Scorpio could say, especially with Mars being conjunct this week. Kate, everything opposing between Taurus and Scorpio with Venus Virgo reminds me of Black Dahlia surgically cut in half, of course. I was just watching a thing on her. Oh, that's interesting, Kate. Huh, I like that. Not taking a risk is the riskiest way of life. That's a great one. So I'm catching up here. JY Mero, I see you. Scorpio Risings, good to see you. Elizifant G, good to see you. Cabe, I'm Exalta Tarot, good to see you. I'm sorry I cannot read all this. I just want to go right through all this. And Michael Hernandez. We got somebody in the house. We got some sabor in the house. That's when you know my Latinos in the house. They announce where they're from. They announce where they're from, and I dig it. Just so you know, I'm Ecuadorian, half Ecuadorian, and I got a pass. I got family members who are Cuban, Venezuelan connected, and all that kind of stuff. So, Susie, good to see you. Scorp Rising. I love this because you all are watching, and it's a Scorpio stream, and I'm summoning you Scorpio Risings, and they're not normally the ones to announce themselves publicly, and they kind of are, but they still get to hide behind chat. And then there's the ones that are just sitting here watching because you're watching right now, and you don't dare go into chat. I know you're there watching. I know you're watching. Isabella, Grandma Bell Scorpio here. I've never heard that before. Watching my favorite star sign. Thank you, Grandma Bell. Sun conjunct Mars and Scorpio. Woo! Dang. You got a month ahead of you, JY Mero. Take advantage. What about Mars retro and Leo? Jay, just so you know, a year from now, we're going to have Mars in Cancer transit that's going to go retrograde, and it's going to go into parts of Leo. So, all right. There's that. That's, I didn't know how I was going to do things today. If you have anything in particular you'd like to ask in chat, this is the time to do it. I'm 49 minutes in. I'm not going to go too long here tonight. I want to do a surprise live stream and just do like weird cackling laughs like I did in the beginning, and I'll make sure to end with a cackling laugh on the stream. And I wanted to celebrate the entry to Scorpio birthdays and the amazing story that we have this for the rest of the month, for the end of October and into November, and how appreciative I am to all of you, and for you that put up with what I do. You know, last week I did a live stream. I did that weird one. I don't know what the hell I call it or what I did. Had some weird drone sound. I remember when I did it, like in the next 24 hours, I had a bunch of people unsubscribe. Like, I might have people unsubscribe after this one, like when they catch it when I'm done. It happens, but I get more people subscribing. It is what it is. I'm going to do the regular forecast and the things that you see on YouTube. I need to do that to grow. At the same time, I'm going to do stuff like this. I have to, because it just satisfies me. And I feel like I've only touched 10% of what it can be within myself by doing surprise live streams and testing my way of improvisational describing a chart or whatever. I'm doing it on purpose in front of all you because I'm learning. And the more I do this, the better I get. For those of you who don't know, I am a Taurus rising, and I have a Scorpionic 7th house, and I do have a planet there, and I have some other signatures that fall into this realm. So, once I'm locked in on something, I'm going to have my weird obsession about it, but wanting to go all in, and there's nothing else but that. And I'm just doing that publicly with you all, and I will continue to do this. So there's going to be some people that don't get it, whatever. I don't care. As long as I'm quenching my obsession thirst for myself, and all that. And those of you out there who know, I think there's some of you out there watching that have probably had sessions with me, and you see how I really do things. It's not exactly like these live streams, but you know that about me, that once I'm one-on-one with people, I have my way of interacting and communicating and listening, most importantly. And I really pride myself on that, and I'm always looking to grow in that way. But I always come into a one-on-one session. I clear myself before I turn that camera on. And I shut everything else out. I looked at the chart, I studied. I see the mathematical part of it, the concept part of it. But then it goes beyond that for me. If I were to say anything, I would say I'm an intuitive astrologer. And that's how I come into it. And I get to shut everything else out with you and follow that mysterious path that happens in sessions. And I'm there 100%. And it really comes, honestly, from a Scorpionic place with me because of the placement in my chart. And so, I don't want to ever dishonor that me or a space with a client. I do the best I can. You make mistakes or whatever, right? But it's one thing I'm telling myself this month with all this Scorpio energy is like, at least there isn't a distraction per se. And at least there is the vehicles and the reasoning to go deep and to go within and to probe in those dark places. And to know that those are gifts waiting. That power awaits there. True power. So I tell myself that every time. Every day in client sessions or, with my own demons. So I wholly appreciate Scorpio energy. All you people out there got that reading. If it calls you, cool. If not, I'll be making more Scorpionic stuff in the next month. And that's how I roll. I'm going to do one more thing here before I look at chat and leave. And I want to look at chat again here really quick. Oh, Canada Dry, thank you for the donation. It's funny how these donations, I don't know how it is when people do super chat, they get to pick the color they want, but it's always like bright. Thank you, Canada Dry. Thank you. Leanne Patterson, I see you in chat. Sarah Eliza, Adam Davis, good to see you. Energy Arts Academy. My solar return is Thursday, 2 degrees Scorpio. Happy birthday, Energy Arts. Lorraine Teti. He's got a bunch of Scorpio. Love listening to this. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I'm gonna have more to say Scorpionically, but I'm really gonna ponder and concentrate this month. And when I do streams or I do videos, I want to drop some other stuff on you all. I need to do it, but I can't have everything at once. Like I said earlier in this video, I was like a slow revealing secret. I just saw something else come in. What is James Sanders with a super chat. James says, your method of storytelling has helped me to connect more deeply with the astrology, the universe. Please keep doing you. Thank you for your scorpionic comment, James Sanders. That means a lot to me. Right on, brother. Right on, man. Thank you. Stitch, I see you. Thank you. Deb, JC, thank you. Alnadia, Lily Welch, hey there. Hey there, Lily. I love Scorpio energy. Hell yeah, man. Let's celebrate them. Let's call them out, though. Let's celebrate Scorpio by calling them out. One-on-one in secret where no one else could hear. Then we could speak the truth. That's why I like you, Scorpios. I know you could dish it out, but at the same time, can you let me dish it out to you? Most of you can do it. And if you can't, that's another reason to talk to me. Because I'll hold you just gently. I won't tell anybody, but I'll be there with you. But I'll speak the truth. Sandra L. Ditto. Jamie Swift. Hey, Jamie. Good to see you, fellow cohort. But yeah, so I know do that. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I always do this on the fly here. I'm about to do something, and I see my battery's about to go off on my iPad. So I don't know if I'll be able to do that. I need time because I have some other musical production things and some other visuals. I just need time. I need a whole staff. I need a whole crew for the ideas I have. I want to take over the world. I would love to do a Scorpio stream one day where 100,000 people were watching, like a pirate feed, where we interrupted their viewing pleasure somewhere else, and we interrupted, and it was totally scorpionic, and it was like this scorpionic master transition that went straight and penetrated and pierced them, and yeah, so anyway, let me get to something. Where the fuck is it? It's, no, that's not it. That's not, it's over here. Okay, let's do this. And then once I show you my impromptu thing, and then we'll get to saying goodbye. So, J.Y. Mero, Scorpios unidos jamás serán. That's funny. Yeah, man. I feel you. Soy juntos con los Scorpios, you know? Then I have to go, get away from me. So... I got to log into something here so I can show you something and show you something that I picked up that I just got in the mail. And I do this on my streams. Let's see if, no, that's not what it is, Nicholas. I'm looking at something right now. Oh, man. Oh, okay, there we go. And I'm going to pull this. Okay, so, and I'll put this up on the screen. I'll show you. But something I picked up. It's something I picked up. I just got in the mail. I think it came from Greece, and they're called Delphic Oracle cards. There it is. That's the best way I can do it. Kind of simple artwork, right? Delphic Oracle. Let's pick a card. A huge fat stack of cards. They kind of go in the order of the oracle, so they're numbered. I'll give you like the last one here. So that's 126, respect elder. That's not the last one. It's just one that I pulled. But anyway, it's a fat stack of cards, and they're really cool. And there's a particular tarot card reader out there and a very great historian, educated. He's a professor master. Anyway, his name's Angelo Naya. So if you find him, he's got a great Substack, a Greek gentleman, really talented, very smart. I always look at the books that he orders and studies. He's definitely steered me in the right direction. He's got a great book on tarot that I've learned from. Anyway, I saw him pulling these cards, and he does a Delphic Maxim every Sunday on his Substack, and he draws one of these cards, and he's got a picture. And I've been eyeing these on Etsy. So anyway, there's these cards. They're like that, and like this one's Follow God. And I'll read this one. So we'll just stick with number 1. It comes with a little booklet, and I'll read what number 1 is. In one way, it's sort of scorpionic, the follow that godlike thing. It says, follow God. One can assume that the first sentence may be the most important, because if you have a message, a canon, a creed, you start with the most basic, most vital first. Both words, follow and God, are chosen with great care, and it becomes more clear when we see what is not said. Apollo speaks in the singular God. Of course, he does not refer to the monotheistic principle or merely to himself, but the Platonic idea of the divine. It is vital to note what is not said. It is not said, obey God. The gods are apparently no power to enslave humanity. They are an ideal to follow. They inspire us and are regarded as patrons. Follow the divine. It is an advice, a good counsel, not a commandment. That is important, as it sets the tone for the entire canon. Apollo comes to us with these maxims as advisor, as guide and counselor, not as overlord or commander. A interesting deck of oracle cards, and I will throw those in the chat. I don't get anything for them. I can't do affiliate links for this stuff, but I will show you where I got them. Another interesting thing, they're coming from overseas, Greece, I think, and yeah, let me find my own channel here. I'm looking at my thumbnail of myself right now, so concentrate here. All right, there we go. And I could drop this in the chat for you all. An amazing group of cards. Or you can hear myself here. So I'll throw this in chat right now. By the way, my last live stream, I was throwing PayPal links and Venmo links. I thought it was cool. I got a major warning from YouTube, so that's a no-no. So there you go. There's a link right there to those cards. I really like that we looked at the first one. It actually says a lot. And you could maybe, if we were going to call this part of Oracle live stream, that what I just said and the card I just picked is actually very interesting when it comes to the Mercury and Scorpio type of thing of like, that we know things and what not know things. And we're very clear and distinct about it. And then there's the things that we do not know that can come to us and appear as part of a scorpionic, Mercury and scorpionic journey as we dive in deeper. But it's good to know and not know. And it becomes clear when we see what is not said. Think about that. Very interesting. What is not said, right? And so until maybe it's time it's said, or it's when we're engaging in communication. I think a lot of it, if you think about what's happened the last several weeks with Mercury and Libra, there actually could have been a lot said there in its conjunction with the South Node and the eclipse, but it's not really, it's what's not said. And possibly here, with Mercury being in Scorpio, if we take it from a chapter perspective and the story would happen with the Libra stuff and Mercury and Scorpio and the eclipse, that what we have coming up here in this week, maybe what is said, what was not said, what should have been said. And we might catch that this week here when we get to the eclipse on Sunday. Let me find him on Substack. Somebody's got him. Oh man, he did such a great lecture. This guy, here, hold on a second. I mean, here's his book. You could see his name here. Just look up Angelo Nyasos. He's got a Substack. I'm going to prepare you, though, okay? Listen, this guy, he's straight up. And he's on a mission, and he's Greek, and he's, supportive and a proponent of the Greek diaspora and Hellenism. And there's a lot of opinions out there and people who have taken and, in a sense, appropriated certain things from Greek culture, especially the pagan community. It's a sore subject for a lot of pagans out there. He talks about that on the Substack, along with other things. He's really, really great practitioner and so on and so forth. Anyway, I'll put it, that's his name here. Angelo, if you're ever watching this, Angelo, love you, man. So that's what's up there. I'll end it there. I was going to show you another book, but I'm not going to do that. And let's say goodbye. I have some work to do. And I have, that kind of stuff. I'll say goodbye and chat to all of you. Check in. Good. Thank you, everybody, for jumping in, as always, on a surprise live stream. Very scorpionic to pull an oracle card. That means every day. 10 times a day. No, I try not to pull a lot of cards like that. I just got a deck of Gravity Falls tarot cards. No way. There's a Gravity Falls tarot cards. I know there's a Buffy the Vampire deck out there. Came out earlier this year too. Let me look at chat. Oh, my forte is not knowing what is said. There are things known and things unknown, and between are the doors. Earth Star. Well, yeah, I dig that. Very poetic, by the way. That's good. Lily Welch, the tension that builds between what's said and what's left unsaid feels like the most Scorpio thing. Yep. There's something about not saying anything and communicating at the same time. I'm doing it that way. KC Rain, thank you. Good night. Thanks for jumping in. Sweet dreams to you, JC. Sarah, ironically, I missed this because I was pulling cards. Yeah. Let's say goodbye, y'all. Listen, what the hell? I should do something here. I promoted myself verbally today, right? And I should just, Nicholas, gosh, I'm the worst at this. There, I got my thing up here. You could see my reading page. I added the Scorpio special reading on the top. And then the rest of my stuff. That's my page. I'll put that in the link right now if you're interested. If you, by the way, if you check out Angelo and you run into him, you tell him I sent him your way. Okay, so here is the link to my readings, my bookings page. Now, that's what I charge and that's what I deserve. Okay? But there's some out there who know that you'll see some other hidden information as a way to get a hold of me there, because I also do payment plans. And I've been doing this with people. 2-3 different plans. We split it up. It's fully trusting you. Talk about trust. Talk about intimacy. Talk about a scorpionic thing. It's all, in order to be intimate, you need to build trust. That's another thing. When Scorpio energy is on point, it knows how to do that. Okay? So saying that, there's that. So I do payment plans. I do alternative kind of things with people. You need to contact me first, and I come up with something. We have to feel it out. I also am very honest with people and let them know if I'm not in particularly the astrologer for them. I do that, and I have an array of friends who do different types of astrology, and sometimes I'm very honest with people. I'm like, what you're in particularly asking for and stuff, it's not my jam, at least this point, but I know somebody I could hook you up with who's good. So I do that sometimes. I'm very honest that way, okay? So thank you, Sandra L. All right, let's say goodbye. Let's have a little bit of a something here before I leave. This is what I have up on screen right now. And where is I could do different things. I could do, this is like a little too, this is sort of scorpionic, actually. It's like if we were at the end of the journey and we were going to walk towards the lights, but we needed to get through, This is sort of eclipsey. That was interesting. This is kind of a Virgo Scorpio mix right here. Like, we're going to get down to the cells. We're going to get to the cells and DNA of you. We're going to get to the heart of it all. Mitosis. This is, whoa, I've never seen this one before. This is third grade. So you see what I'm doing. I got more coming on the way when I do this. Blobs. But, you know, we're going to go to where we started. This one's called Trippy, by the way. But let me look. Whoa, it's a little too. Wait a second. I see what's going on here. We're gonna go back to the way it should be. And where the hell is it? What the hell did I do? Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's what I want. Thanks for going with the flow tonight on this Scorpio celebration to the unknown. Appreciate you all and for always going with the flow with me and dealing with my mind. We're in between eclipses. Take advantage of the Pisces moon here. Next so many hours, day and a half. Really get yourselves in that sweet place of unknown harmonies. I might just mess around here for a while, but I just want to say good night to y'all, good day wherever you are. I'll see you on the internet, to IG, later on the channel this week. Be good to you, huh? And let us descend. Let us go deep. That's better. I see you. You are mine. Open your mind. I see you. Estoy pensando de ti. En sus sueños, los secretos esperan. Mucho amor. Estoy pensando de ti.